My boss humiliated me in front of everyone, so I humiliated him with success. When my boss called me a replaceable cog in front of the entire office, I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I knew that one day, he'd choke on those words. I was an assistant at a marketing firm, one of those jobs where you're expected to smile while getting stomped on. My boss, Rick, was the kind of man who believed arrogance was a leadership style. He strutted around in overpriced suits, tossing insults like confetti, and everyone pretended to laugh, everyone except me. I had too much self-respect for that. But that didn't mean I didn't take it personally. One morning, during our weekly meeting, I pitched a campaign idea I'd been working on for weeks, a new strategy for a major client that could have doubled their engagement. The room went quiet, everyone liked it, even Rick looked impressed for a second, until he saw people nodding. Then he smirked and said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Cute idea, but we need real professionals here, not interns with Pinterest dreams. The room filled with nervous laughter, my face burned, I swallowed my pride and sat down, pretending it didn't sting, but inside, something snapped. I realized then I'd never let another man decide my worth again. I went home that night, furious but determined. I couldn't quit yet. I needed experience, contacts, and savings, so I stayed quiet. I worked late, helped everyone else hit their deadlines, and learned every single thing Rick refused to teach me. Within a year, I was running half the office from behind the scenes. Rick didn't notice, of course. He was too busy taking credit for my work. But karma has a funny way of showing up in a suit. The turning point came when one of our biggest clients, a luxury skincare brand, wanted to expand globally. Rick, naturally, wanted to handle the pitch himself. But when the client requested fresh, creative minds, the CEO decided to send me instead. Rick wasn't happy, but the order came from the top. That pitch changed everything. I poured every ounce of my frustration, creativity, and late-night ambition into it. The clients loved it. 2 months later, they signed a multi-million-dollar deal, and when the CEO asked who led the project, the room turned silent. Rick tried to speak first, but the client interrupted, smiling at me. Actually, we were impressed by her. She's the reason we said yes. The look on Rick's face? Worth every insult he'd ever thrown my way. I thought that would be the end of it, but fate wasn't done yet. A few weeks later, I got an offer from that same client to head their new marketing division, a higher salary, better benefits, and more respect than I ever got under Rick. I accepted. The day I resigned, Rick called me into his office. His fake smile couldn't hide the panic in his eyes. You're making a mistake, he said. You won't last without my guidance. I smiled and handed him my resignation letter. You're right, I won't last because I'll be too busy thriving. A few months later, our paths crossed again at an industry conference. My new company was sponsoring the event, Rick's firm. They'd gone downhill since I left. Their biggest clients jumped ship. Guess who was standing at the main stage, giving the keynote speech on global marketing success? Me. When I walked off stage, I caught Rick standing in the back, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. He gave me a weak nod, like he finally realized what I'd known all along. Success doesn't just silence your haters, it humiliates them, politely. As I left that night, I remembered that moment when he laughed at me in the office. It used to replay in my head like a wound. Now, it was just fuel for my story, a reminder that sometimes, the best revenge isn't payback. It's progress.